Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. What's up, G Hive? How are y'all doing? Are you ready for our inspired Goddess Morning Circle? This is Tirra Omilade, your Goddess Guru. Oh, and my timer is going off. Hold on. Hi, your Goddess Guru. And you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. It's all about showing up and being who and what you are in all your wonderful glory. How y'all doing out there, goddesses? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready, goddesses? Yes, it's so good to be alive. We give thanks to be in this space-time continuum because as they say in the Black church oftentimes, everybody didn't make it to today, right? Everybody didn't wake up this morning. So if you're up this morning, you got breath to breathe. Come on, y'all, let's turn it up. Let's give thanks. You are amazing. The world is better because you are here. We goddesses got to do what we got to do in order to make our lives better. But baby, let me tell you, when you make your life better, the whole world gets lit up. Turn it up. Give thanks. Get a little bit too loud. We doing our goddess dances, baby. Yes. Greetings. Let me see who's here. Hey, Grand Rising Ocean Kimmy. Look, I'm doing better calling you Ocean Kimmy. She's like, highlight, baby, highlight my name, okay? Let me put another song on. We're gonna do this one while we do roll call. Good morning. Buenos dias. How are you, Paulette? Wealth rising to the goddess Keita May, representing the tribe of Mays, baby. Yes. It's been a wreck. Not a wreck, but I'm a piece of work right now. Good morning to the goddess Bliss. It's so good to see you. And we're rolling. We're here. Greetings to the Queen, Dr. Fallon Wilson. Hey, Grand Rising Peg. Hola to Sharmika. We got all the goddesses in the G Hive. What's up, Mystic Storm Spirituality? How are you? Yeah, Morgan, Mystic Storm Spirituality dropped the video yesterday, so y'all need to go check it out. Be ready, so you ain't gotta get ready. You better say that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Glad y'all are here. Glad y'all are here. Let me make sure this music isn't too loud. Okay, it is turned down a little bit. Okay, goddesses, here we are. I'm back on Wednesdays. The coaching program that I was in is officially over. Okay, we got the Queen Deborah Sledge by Mary in the house. How are you? What's up, Grand Rising to Veronica? How are you? Good morning, Cindy. Welcome, Queen. Welcome. So yeah, I'm back on Wednesdays. So I'm happy about that. And proud of myself. We're gonna have, as you can see, scrolling at the bottom in the ticker tape at the bottom, there is gonna be our full moon live stream this Saturday. So we're going to do a lot of celebrations then. And you're welcome. Again, I say Mystic Storm Spirituality put out a video yesterday, so y'all need to go check it out. We're going to be supporting one another as I know what people are doing. I will let you all know. We got to keep it in the queendom, baby. But anywho, yes, we have the full moon live stream this Saturday. Hope that y'all can join me live. If not, the replay is always here for you to watch. And we're going to do our celebration. So something I want y'all to do now is to go on ahead and start listing out your wins, okay, over the last month. If you want to do for the last 6 months, you can go back. Let's see, this is the full moon in Taurus. So you can go back to like May, June, from May, June up until now. What have you accomplished? Grand Rising, how are you, Latasha? Glad you're here, Queen. What have you accomplished, right? These are the things that I want y'all to go on ahead and list out, because a lot of times y'all have problems, and I'm the same way. When people are like, okay, in my business groups, list your wins. What were your wins? It's like we can barely bring up to mind the wins. Let me just go on ahead and say, now, baby, you here, you alive, you showed up. Win. Whether the world acknowledges that as a win or not, to be in the space-time continuum, this is not a joke. Just like Paulette was like, do we feel like we just took some midterms, huh? With these eclipses, right? It's a lot of people who've checked out, but y'all are, if you're on this live stream with me, that means that you are winning. You're here to make a difference. You are here to do something good. And so you've got to acknowledge that. The measure of success that we have been given here in this world is one you can take or you can reject. You can create your own qualifications or standards for success. And I encourage you all to infuse every element or every standard for success with a heap of compassion, because a lot of us were born in this world with something against us. Just being born in a female body, you automatically got some struggles. Nobody told you you even had these struggles, but yet we are expected to meet these standards of success that's in this society, that this world sends to us. Forget about any of the boxes that we can check. Women of color, depending on what part of the world you are, that makes you, have a whole different experience as a woman of color. Your language, what side of the railroad tracks were you born? Were you born in affluence, or were you born in poverty? Is there abuse in the home? Is there an addict in the home? Is there a missing parent? Is there an absent parent? Is there neglect? Nobody told us that we were expected to achieve success. And we got all this going on too. So it doesn't add up. And so, it's hurtful for me. It pains me when I show up in groups, and I still have to check myself on this. But it pains me when I show up in groups and the coach is like, okay, tell me something good that's happening. What's one thing that happened that really went really well for you? What do you want to celebrate? And it's barely anybody talking. And then when she's like, okay, what are your questions? What are your problems? I mean, it's paragraph longs, right? So all I'm saying to you is that you have a lot that you were born into, that nobody has even really told you how to navigate this, right? One day we wake up and we're like, whoa, something's wrong. So we got all this over here. And then we have these standards of success over here. And we're expected to achieve this, right? No. Success is this: you woke up and you did your best. Okay. And then the other thing is you have to infuse your standards of success with a lot of compassion, because it's kind of like the way I look at it is I say, well, okay, wait a minute. I was, given the fact that I was raised up in a home where there was violence and alcoholism, as a young child, I experienced or witnessed violence, extreme violence. Um, and of course, that changed my brain. I don't know, but now that I know, I'm like, well, of course, I had problems learning in school. I've always struggled with math, and honestly, just saying it right here, right now, I'm like, the math part of my brain was like, we doing something else right now. We trying to figure out how to navigate this home. Okay. So now I get to say, well, of course I struggled in math. Or if we have problems with relationships, I can see why I have problems with relationships. I know the standard is, you're going to find the love of your life. And, it's just going to be like this great thing. And when you struggle with finding the love of your life and just having this great experience, you're like, what's wrong with me? Not wrong with you. Of course, I want a relationship. That's human. But I might have to take a little bit of time to figure out how to make this work because I wasn't even taught how to do this as a child. Infuse your standards of success with a lot of compassion. And if you don't change your standards of success, then at least bring in compassion. I'm doing in every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. Find something cheesy and kind of cliche if you need to. I'm waking up doing the best I can. I remember it was because I wrote it down, the date 2008. I remember writing down, you know what? Every day, the only thing I care about is I just did the best I could that day. That's the only thing I care about. Okay. And so I need y'all to celebrate your wins. This is when we're living the goddess centered lifestyle. I am asking y'all to go all in. Okay. And sometimes it does take a little bit of time to really commit to the goddess centered lifestyle. But for me, all in is this. Okay, I take time out to say, where's the moon? Like yesterday, I was like, okay, what phase are we in with the moon? We're in the first quarter phase. Okay, first quarter phase of the moon. That means what? And I have a journal where I don't have to even keep all this in my mind. This is what we do at the first quarter moon. These are the things I'm thinking about at the first quarter moon. So the full moon, it is a time where, yes, the full moon is known for a lot of emotion and seeing a lot of crazy stuff. I used to work at a hotel before I knew anything about astrology, but I always kind of knew when there were full moons because the hotel, it would just be like crazy things happening at the hotel, right? And typically this hotel was pretty quiet. It was not anything going on. So um, but the other thing about the full moon that I want y'all to embrace even more is that the full moon is a time to celebrate. It's a time to say, okay, the seeds planted at a new moon, it may not have been the previous new moon. It may not have been that new moon 2 weeks ago. It may have been the new moon 3 months ago or a year ago. Some people, if we're especially when we're thinking about the bigger cycles, like this, the bigger cycle of an eclipse is 19 years. I did a reading for somebody recently, and she's like, I'm seeing seeds I planted 19 years ago. And I thought, yeah, I can believe it. And she has a lot of planets in Taurus, and she has nodes in Taurus and Scorpio, if I remember correctly. And I'm like, yeah, so it could be 19 years ago, right? We're going to celebrate something at this new moon. And I already know y'all need to start writing the list down now because y'all get stumped day of. So what's today? Tuesday? No, Wednesday. So y'all keep going. And then on Saturday, I want to see those lists. Okay. Um, and the other thing I want you to know is yay! So good. Yes, subscribe to Mystic Storm. So the other thing I want y'all to know is that if you look, I know, or I don't know, maybe it's on both the mobile devices and on your laptops, desktops. But I created a join button. If you want extra offerings, these are offerings that a lot of it is I'll create it for the people in my coaching program. And, that's not a lot of people, to be honest with you. And so I'm like, well, other people may want this. And I plan on dropping not a whole lot, one or two things a month into um, the membership. So I have memberships that you can join. It's just little $10 membership. And the only thing from the new moon circle that I will include, because I know a lot of people may want this video, is when I go through the signs. Otherwise, nothing that will be in this membership will be in the retreats that I do for the new moon. Okay. This is like its own thing. If you are, of course, a part of my coaching program, do not join this membership because you get everything. But anywho, um, I want y'all to avail yourself to that. So what I put there was one of the ladies in my coaching program wanted to know about Mars retrograde. And so in that membership, I put my entire Mars retrograde class. So it'll be things like that. And maybe one or two extra special videos, but I will only create that if people join and, folks are interested. I don't have a lot of views already. So I don't want to be creating a whole bunch of content if nobody's looking at it. Okay, here we go. I love this, Morgan. And if you want to go on ahead and list your wins here, I love that. I've expanded my reach in my business within my community, working to transmute fear and anxiety. So, yes, good, good, good. This is wins. Okay, good. Opening up and being more vulnerable in relationships. That's a winning. That is one of the greatest things that you can do, Morgan. Speaking up and setting boundaries. So, according to other people, like the standards of success, you don't hear people saying, be more vulnerable, set up more boundaries. Um, you know, a huge part of success. You're successful if you transmute fear and anxiety. No, you hear like make this much money and do this and do that and do this and do that. And when you have this kind of relationship, but it's got to look just like this, or you drive this kind of car, these are the things that we have to take and just completely toss out. Even educational level. Some people think that they're not going to be as successful because they are not at a certain educational level. And I am telling you, there are many paths to where we're going. Because when we think of a lot of people back in the day, I tell you what, Madam C.J. Walker did not have a degree. Okay? Huh? What? Madam C.J. Walker did not have a degree. Sarah Breedlove, Vicksburg, Mississippi. Are you kidding me? When we think about who's the one that created all the stuff for the railroad tracks, I need to find my little. I have the Black Inventions Museum little posters, and I used to have them up so my kids could see them. I need to get them back out. Um, the shoe lasting machine, whatever his name is. Okay, so I can remember the inventions, but I can't remember all the names. I don't think he had a degree. Now, the lady who created the the monitoring systems for home, she might have had a degree. I think she was a nurse. Um, let's see here. Whatever these all these inventions. Okay, I'm getting stumped thinking about all the inventions. I'm just trying to say some of the greatest things that have come forth actually come forth from the imagination. So here's a standard of success that we can, in fact, put in place. How creative was I today? How much did I act on bringing forth a manifestation that I have dreamed up in my mind? What have I done to work on that today? How much creative juice and juiciness? And hold on, we're gonna turn on this music. This is how we're gonna look when we're being very creative on our dreams and our wishes. Uh, let's see what this one says. Oh, I turned it down. Oh yeah, this is good. I'm gonna show y'all. So when we're talking about how juicy are we being with our creative? Okay, let's see here. How creative was I with working on my business today? Ooh, ooh. Ah, mm, mm. Yeah, look, you got to get the face. Oh yeah, I love my business. Ooh, oh. And it seems sort of like I'm joking, but I'm actually not. No, I'm serious. We've that right there will bring you success. Like, how much am I like really in bed with my dreams? How much am I like laying up and hugging and kissing the thing that I want to birth into this world? Mm, mm. Right? But see that's not what they say, right? These are the kinds of things we want to be looking at. These are the standards of success. How much have I envisioned what I want? How much have I said thank you? That's not listed. Like the most successful people, they don't always tell you what they're doing, but a lot of them are like, thank you for what I have. Super grateful. I don't have no doubts about what's coming my way. You know why? Because I'm just grateful, right? Or here's another standard of success. How much kindness did I put out into the world? How many people did I stop to actually look at? Doesn't matter what they look like. And I extended to them graciousness of some sort, kindness, compassion. How many people have I actually helped today? And for some of us, it's how many people did I help in my business today? Just because it's not, this is another thing. Take the vow of poverty. That is, I am telling you right now, that is a trick that is designed to help keep us in to help make us think that we should not want to have abundance. But I often think back to my ancestors, my ancient ancestors. I'm like, well, okay, I claim Egypt. I claim whoever I want to be honest with you. I claim Egypt. They had a lot of opulence back in the day. So, and like they are touted as, this very advanced people. So, I don't see them looking poor. They look pretty good. And honestly, when I see people with a lot of money, I'm like, they look like they fine. I'm not taking no vow of poverty. Don't take a vow of poverty. Helping people isn't always like I got to give, something and not get paid for it. There are so many people who pay me and they thank me so tough because of what I've done. I'm thinking, but you paid me. I just did my job, right? But that is how it is about this exchange, right? It is about getting an exchange. But people, we definitely want to be looking at as a standard of a measure of success. I have this gift and talent. How many people did I help today? How many people did I let know I can help you today? Okay. So, or another thing, going back to the creative piece, how much did I express my gifts and talents today? Maybe I'm not trying to make money right now. I don't really want to make money dancing. But you see, my thing is, I'm going to come on here, I'm going to dance. You know why? I could be at the grocery store, I can have my earbuds in my ears, and I could be jamming while I do that. I know, I'm sure Eileen does it too. I will be at the store dancing my butt off and people will just come up and start dancing. They don't hear the music, nothing. They see me dancing and it just lights them up. Who has been doing the thing that you came here to do and it's purely for fun? And that can be your measure of success also, because you want to start thinking about the day you die. Do you want to say, well, I came here and I did my best to do what the world said was successful, even though I don't know if I really got to that point? I tried it and that's what I did. No, we want to say, you know what? I went for my dreams. I maybe I got to 50% of them, but I didn't. I was relentless in going for my dreams. The other thing I did was I showed up and I did what I really wanted to do. And though in my culture, people don't value art like it should be valued, I still did my art. I found a way to do my art every day, even if I'm just in here painting by myself or dancing by myself because I couldn't find anybody to do it with me. But that's what I did. No regrets when we die. These are the things that we want to be thinking about. No regrets. Yes. Compassion. Compassion. Thank you, Mystic Storm. I appreciate you. Yes, self compassion is the greatest power tool you can start using in your life right now. It is getting me further in everything when I'm just like, you know what? Okay. Yeah, maybe things didn't turn out exactly like I wanted them to, but this went well, that went well, this went well. And it's kind of like it's like I have a compassionate self and I make her stand across from me. And then I'm just sitting here listening to her, just like a friend, a trusted friend. And she'll say things like, I want you to write down everything you did today. And so I'll write it down. And she'll say, so tell me about what you didn't do. And typically, y'all no lie, my list of everything that I've gotten done in that day is typically a lot. I have the ability to have this high output. But if I don't write it down, I'll think I didn't do anything today. But she'll say, what did you get done? And I'm like, I did get some things done. I got a whole lot more done. And she'll say things like, okay, well, you can go to bed now. You can rest. Or, maybe if I attempted to do something and it didn't work out quite like I wanted it to do it, she'll say something like, and it's really true. I'm telling y'all right now. She'll say something like, it's a lot of people that would never take a risk and go for their dreams like you're going for your dreams, Tyra. So you're taking quantum baby steps, and that matters. And I'm like, okay, that's true. That's good. Self-compassion. How gentle can you be with yourself? They don't list that as a measure of success. They want us to be like, what do you call them? Not the slave master, but the one that was out there. Crack that whip. Keep going. Because, the slave master wasn't out there. Had people out there, whipping the people who were enslaved. So, yeah, we have one of those. Yeah, it's called the inner critic. And some of our inner critics, they got whips. You'd be like, girl, give me that. You ain't doing that to me today. When you hear all that negativity going off in your head, you just snatch it from her, throw it down, and you have to give your critic a different job. You have to tell your critic, okay, let me show you how you're going to pull up. You're not pulling up like that. What you're not going to do is beat me up. You're not going to be criticizing everybody out there. But let's see here. How do I navigate my critic? A lot of times when my critic comes up, I'll say, okay, she doesn't feel safe. Now, I have had to go through a lot of coaching and different things like that to get to this point, because the inner gremlin, man, relentless. But it's because, let me just really offer this to y'all, because this has been very helpful for me to quell that inner critic. And that is the inner critic, or the brain, the human brain. In order for us, our ancestors, to have survived, they had to pay attention to what's wrong a lot in order to get to safety, right? And so we have what's called negativity bias. And so we will lean towards seeing what's wrong faster than acknowledging what's going right. When things are going right, it's just not like, like alarms, bells and whistles going off. It's typically when something is going wrong. And so if you just remember, you have negativity bias just because you have a brain, a human brain, then you can just say, oh, that's just my brain being negative. And again, for me, I'll say, I must not feel safe. And then I'll stop and say, okay, what doesn't feel safe? And I can usually kind of hone in, and it might be like, oh, that's okay. I see you noted something, but it's not a problem. We don't have to worry about that. Because the other thing we have to remember is we have a lot of filters. We have a lot of filters. We do not see the world purely. We see the world through our filters. You might be seeing the world through your 3-year-old self, your 21-year-old self, like, the self that got fussed at because she didn't get her homework done, or I don't know. We got all kinds of filters, right? Based on what you look like or where you're from, is a lot of filters. And so we have to realize that sometimes when we see things through a filter, because I was raised up with a lot of violence around me and made me feel very unsafe. I had this filter that was like, I'm always looking for a threat. And so even now, that filter, I'm working on getting it decreased, but that filter is still there. And my inner critic will come up and she'll just, I call her negative Nancy, negative Nan. And you ain't doing this. Oh, what's going on? Oh, you don't feel safe. Okay. That used to seem like a threat. It's just your filter is making you think it's a threat. And once I identify this is not a problem, negative Nancy will be like, all right, cool. And maybe I can just kind of see it as okay, there's that filter. But this is not how people describe being successful, like learning how to navigate your life through trauma. They don't talk about that, right? But you can make the decision, I'm a success, right? Okay, this sun is coming in. Let me close my blinds. And get back to ah okay, got approved for homeowners assistance and will have my mortgage paid for 6 months. Yes, that is a win. We have had horrible, horrible economic stuff going on, Sharmika. Yes, I am so happy for you. Finally got an ancestor reading, which confirmed some things for me, managing my anxiety and continuing mindfulness. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. My biggest lesson is learning that following the script they have for you is what killed my soul. See? Thankful I can see that now. We came here to create our own path and share our story. Exactly. 19 years ago, I moved in my first apartment 1 year after graduating high school. Dang. And then look at now. You got the thing going on with the mortgage. We can't make this up. You don't see the join button? Okay, thank you. I love that, Fallon. That is one of the best things you can do when you feel worried. Go create, because what you want, success is this learning who you are. The highest level of success is know thyself. And part of know thyself is um step into a new vibration. So when you feel worry and you go into that creative mode, you're literally becoming a new person and you have access to whole new resources. And so that is very successful. Yes. Y'all know. Y'all know I'm here for it, okay? Okay, I'm with you. I want to go to Egypt too. Ooh, I love that 444. 444 is one of my favorite numbers. Greetings, Felicia. How are you, Queen? Yes. Yes. Daily gratitude practice. So creativity and gratitude. And the other big one is forgiveness, to be honest with you. Forgiveness is very important. Thank you, Felicia. I knew somebody was going to give me the word. Yes. So we have sort of like in my mind, and maybe I might just be a little bit of a crazy lady. Um, but yeah, we have one on the inside. And hold on, I want to see something. Let's see if I can go to my channel. Yeah, I see it online, but I don't see the join button. I'm not on my phone, so I know it's online. But yeah, we all have that, and and so in that book, The Four Agreements, one of the things they talked about is we are so programmed in this society, and the programming becomes so good that we begin to tame ourselves. Essentially, we pretty much just continue that work, and that's what how I see that inner critic, that inner gremlin, that overseer in ourselves. It's like, okay, these are the things that we're supposed to do, and so I'm going to make sure I keep this going. And so the masters, the people, or wherever this comes from, because I'm not putting this on any one group, nothing. It's more of a vibration that's here, a mentality, a matrix of some sort. Um, that energy is like it sets the agenda, and then there's something in us that it just gets programmed and programmed and programmed so much that when we just take the reins, and it's like they don't have to try to oppress us. We will we will self-oppress. And I'm asking you to not do that. I'm asking you to free yourself from the bonds of self-oppression. And the way you do it though is you have to create new standards for your life. You cannot live according to other people's standards. You have to create your own standards. I'll give y'all another example of how I got free. When I decided I wanted to, two times, I cut my hair off and said, no more perms. I don't knock you if you wear perms. I don't care. That's fine. But for me, I was like, I refuse to put any more chemicals in my hair. My mom started doing it when I was a little girl. I had fly haircut, honey. I was Holly Berry. All right. People used to think I was like her double. I look good. I looked good. But I just got to a point where I was just like, this is not my hair. I don't want to wear my hair like this. This is not for me. And I'm gonna free myself. And on July 4th of 1994, I think it was, I was like, okay, I don't celebrate July 4th, so I'm going to create a whole new. This is again me creating something new. I was like, okay, if this is Independence Day, I'm freeing myself from perms. And I had to walk through all the doors because this was in the 90s before Black women were wearing their hair short and everything, or even natural, to be honest with you. But I did it. And, I just said, I'm beautiful. This is my standard. I love how I look. And of course, the people around me loved my hair. My dad kind of gave me a hard time, but most other people were just like, you look so good with your hair like that. So the next one was when I decided to grow out my first set of dreadlocks. And I went through this whole thing of, you know what? Part of the reason I'm struggling with having dreadlocks is because I have the wrong standard of beauty. And so that day I made a declaration that I was my own standard of beauty. Like I set the tone for beauty in my life. And so I'm really the only competition that I have. Now, that's not to say I haven't struggled in other ways. Like once I've gotten a little bit older, I had to accept, okay, I look older. Yeah, I know people tell me I look good or whatever, but I was looking at videos from me back in like not 19, Lord, uh, 2014, when I was about 44, 45. And I'm like, I literally look like I'm a baby. And that was not even 10 years ago. So once I started seeing more gray come in or whatever, I had to change up. What is the beauty? What is the beauty of standard, or standard of beauty for me? And then, with me I've been carrying extra weight for a number of years now, almost 10 years. And so I had to adjust it, that it doesn't matter what size I am my own standard of beauty. So we have to create our own rules. And once you create your own rules, you don't care what other people are doing. It doesn't even matter. And the old way that we have been tamed is ridiculous. Like, okay, if I have been taught that, to have like a certain car is what is success, and to live in a certain neighborhood and, on a certain side of town. If I've been taught that that is true success, And I now have new standards, which is like, no, I'm a minimalist. I don't want to build my own home. I'll move into a home that's already built. And this is just me. I don't speak for anybody else. This is me. It is my truth. Is one day I woke up and I was like, I don't even really want to live in a huge house because I was feeling bad. This house is not big. It's a very little house that I live in. I live in a little house. And for years, I was like, I feel like I'm such a failure. But my priority was homeschooling my kids. And so we just chose to live in a way where it's like, no matter what happens in the economy, my husband can provide for this family because I was doing the education of the children. And so, once I decided, well, number one, that was my priority, but I was still struggling because I was raised up like, you get the big house, baby, that's it. Like all the people that had the big houses, they were so much more successful than those who didn't. It was bad. Mississippi is very classist. Even the Black people in Mississippi is a very classist place. They very much about this kind of stuff. And so that's what I thought. And then one day I was like, why do I think that? Oh, somebody said it? Because right now in my little house with my kids and my husband, we got a lot of love. And there's no house that can create that love. No house. And my ex-sister-in-law, my brother is divorced now. But I remember one day I went to their house and I was like, y'all's house is huge. Like this house is like 5,000 square feet. I was like, we weren't raised up. My brother and I and my ex-sister-in-law, we were not raised up in a house like that. And she said, let me tell you something. This house is so big that none of us are ever together. She had to kind of like force them to come like sit down in the same room so they could spend time together. She was like, don't think it's all it's cracked up to be. And it's just to my point of, yeah, I could have had the big house, but why did I want it? And then once I had my own standard, which is I need a place where my family is safe and we are a unit and we love each other. Then it was kind of like, well, this is my standard. And if people want a big house, I'm happy for you because guess what? I want to come hang out with you. I still love big houses. When I think about cleaning it up, I'm like, I need the money to make sure I can hire somebody to come clean it up because it's a lot to do. But I love big houses. I think beautiful homes are great. It's just I don't feel like that's my measure of success in my life, right? So I hope that makes sense. Did I miss somebody? Okay, no. Breath work, meditation, the best. The best. For quelling that inner critic, the best. Yes. Negativity bias it's in our brain. It is in every brain on the human planet. It is a part of how we have survived all of these millennia. Beautiful, Eileen. Has anyone had weird dreams? Yay! Congratulations, Ocean Kimmy. You're so welcome. Mhm. It is so freeing to not pick up other people's things. Wow, that's a good one. Big empty house equals success. Wow. That's what they try to tell us. Mm, good. Good, good, good. Okay, so wow. Okay. Let's do a quick body scan. This is one of the things that I'm working on here lately is um let me drink a little bit of water. Water helps me to kind of like settle my energy. So, one of the things that I'm learning is it's very important for us to the way we can stay present to the moment, have more compassion, actually stay what I call more resourced because we have a lot of internal resources and oftentimes we don't access them because we are in our head and we're all out there, right? So, mindfulness is about being present to the now moment. And it sounds so cliche, but it's true. The only moment is now. And we've talked about this actually in A Happy Pocket Full of Money. And so, tuning into your body, remember, we've talked about this, the importance of understanding the wealth that is here in the body is there is actually no limit to the wealth that is inside of your body, and that is your body. Okay. So, doing things to really tune into the body is extremely beneficial. And so, we're going to do a body scan. When you feel your mind is racing, when you feel super negative, that might be another word, super anxious, one of the things you can do is just tune into what are your feet feeling, or if you're sitting down, tune into like your booty on the bed or the booty on the floor on the chair, wherever you're sitting. If you're laying in the bed, feel yourself, your body touching the bed, like anchor yourself deep into your body. Come, you know, bring yourself deep into the now moment. So let's do a body scan. This is one of my favorite ones. And if it's possible, go on ahead and get comfortable and just take a few deep breaths, just breathing in and exhale. Another deep breath in. And as you exhale, go on ahead, if possible, close your eyes or lower your gaze. And just start to feel the weight of your body. And noticing the points of contact of your feet on the floor or whatever your feet are touching. Notice your hands and your arms resting on your chair, on your legs. Notice any sounds. What we're going to do now is just bring your mind into all of your physical senses. And as you do that, just settle into the space around you, becoming fully present to your senses. Just bringing the attention a little bit more towards the body as you scan down from your head to your toes. Just noticing any areas that feel comfortable or even uncomfortable. Just build a picture of how your body feels. Noticing if there's any particular mood that might be around at the moment. And now gently shift your focus to the rise and fall of the breath. Wherever you feel it strongest in the body now. And just become increasingly comfortable in following the natural rhythm of your breath. And now I'd just like you to imagine a steady flow from above the head. It flows almost like liquid sunlight. It's very smooth and warm. It's very clear and it's very bright. It's almost like taking a mental shower. It flows down through the top of the head into the body, and it travels all the way down. It's going to fill the body up as though it were a container, just melting away any tension, any discomfort. You just follow it as it travels down through the body, sliding down towards the feet. And you're just feeling it as it fills up the toes one at a time. Just mentally acknowledging each toe as it goes through. As it starts to travel up through the feet, the heels, the ankles, and continues upwards towards the knees. Just melting away any tension. Just focusing on the brightness, the warmth, and the spaciousness that it is creating. As it continues up the upper half of the legs towards the hips and the pelvic area. A steady flow, melting away any tension. As it continues up through the trunk of the body, now the stomach, the lower back, and up towards the diaphragm, just melting away any tension. It'll continue to flow up now through the chest and the back area, all the way up to the top of the shoulders. It continues to flow down both of the arms towards the elbows, the hands. And it's just filling up one finger at a time, the hands, the wrists. Again, just feeling it as it fills up towards the elbows and the shoulders. Any tension at all is just melting away. And it continues now to travel up through your neck, the throat, all the way up through the head, all the muscles in and around the face until it gets to the very top of the body. And even though the entire body is now full and feeling clear, it continues to flow downwards, just resting the mind in that space. And you can let go of any focus for a moment and just allow your mind to rest in this space of relaxation, peace, calm. Now, just bringing the attention back into the body again. As you start to feel the weight of the body again, the physical points of contact, as you start to notice the sounds, the smells, just bringing yourself back in the space around you, taking a deep breath and opening your eyes when you are ready. Hmm. I hope that was helpful, sisters. I'm not sure when you tuned in, Johnny, welcome, but I hope that was helpful. Mystic had a dream that she was a warrior in warrior training, and it kept going on repeat. Wow. Okay, so we're just going to take a few moments to look at um, a happy pocket full of money. And yeah, also I put a dream. I put a video out yesterday on the monthly wisdom. So I don't know if y'all have seen that yet. I need to send an email out to alert you, but just in case, I did put that out yesterday. So avail yourself to that. So choose happiness, present moment living, and joy at all times. Thank the present moment for all it brings you in enjoyable experiences, in its opportunities to see yourself as you were before and to grow to an even greater self. It's interesting because I don't even remember who said what that got me on what I've talked about for so long today. But this is it. Like I didn't even know I hadn't gone over it yet to see, but it's apparently what we need to be focusing on. Yeah. So thank the present moment for all it brings you in enjoyable experiences and in its opportunities to see yourself as you were before and to grow to an even greater self. To me, that is like one of the master keys to success. The more we live in the present moment, the more we will be successful. I am least successful when I am either living in the past or in the future. And it's because when we're in the past or the future, we're disengaged from what we actually have the power to focus on right now. Um, okay, so bring into the present moment your awareness, consciousness, thoughts, and looking. Life and all your opportunities to move forward are in the present moment. The ever present moment of now, here. Hmm. I guess this book is in my psyche more than I knew. I've listened to this book a number of times. It has a audio that goes with it. I bought it years ago. So maybe that's where I get some of this from. ah, do not throw yourself forward into where you wish to be all day long. Imagination about the future is great, for it is what you use to create your future. But the present moment has great value. Only through acting and living in the present can you get to the future. This is why we do so much mindfulness work. This is why we do everything we can to just stay focused on right now. Do not spend all day daydreaming about the future of the future, saying, if only, mentally escaping your present and dwelling in an imaginary tomorrow, going on about all the whole day in a dreamlike state, being only half aware, right? That right there. When we're in the past, because a lot of us are living in the past, some of us are constantly like, okay, what if this happens or what if that happens or I don't know. It's like something out in the future and that's where we are. And so like if that thing out there in the future is something we need to be thinking about, it's like what am I doing right now in this moment, right? So being only half aware and conscious of details going on in your day, these things actually slow you down on your trip to a better tomorrow. I know more than I think I know. Okay. Just as it is necessary that you set future goals, it is necessary that you embrace and experience the present and act in it consciously with awareness if you wish to progress. So, the thing that I want to share with you all that I have figured out for me is that a lot of what needs to happen, it's like there's these different processes that we have to kind of like have going on, and you have to figure out uh maybe I'll use the word model since I've been studying NLP quite a bit here lately. You might have to create this model that you use. And so it's like, okay, a lot of us are dealing with trauma. And so it's like, okay, you've got to have something on over here where you're working on healing up that part of yourself. And it's like bit by bit by bit. Some of us may experience fail swoop, like I am completely healed in this moment, but typically that only comes after we've taken a lot of small quantum steps. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's like you got to have something going on over here. Like Morgan mentioned, the transmuting the fear and the anxiety. So Morgan can feel great. But well, let me use myself as an example. I can feel great, but I know for a fact, this is one of the reasons why I talk about having a spiritual practice day in and day out. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. I'll never stop. I did stop before and it did not bode well for me, right? And that is because I already know it's there. And as soon as my subconscious mind realizes, okay, she's ready to deal with this, it's gonna be brought up. So I may as well just kind of have something going on over here that's gonna be taking care of that. Because a lot of the problems that we're having with moving forward, it stems from uh, unhealed trauma that we're not aware of. We think the problem is I can't get to where I want to go, but the issue might actually be, and I'm saying this because a lot of times when we hear people, now this man who wrote this book is from Africa, okay? His name might be David Cameron Gikandi, but he is African. But a lot of people who are writing these things, sometimes I feel like you don't have my world view. You don't know how to use the words that I need. Once I listen to them long enough, I'm like, okay, I finally have figured out what I need to do, because it's certain things they don't know that I know about me, and somebody who looks like me, have had experiences like me. They don't know how to say this. So I'm telling you right now, that part of what we have to do is we have to constantly have this thing over here where we're dealing with our traumas or the things that have really limited us. Because some people haven't experienced a lot of trauma, but it was one thing, it left an indelible mark on you, and it is hard to get past this thing. Some of us dealing with parents. I got this one friend, and it's kind of like, how do you release yourself? Good people, but we're raised to be like people pleasing, make everybody happy. You see grown folk still struggling with, like, I want to just be myself, but it's like my parents, and you don't want to lose, you don't want to upset them, and it is literally somebody I've known for like 20 years or something like that. Maybe not 20 years, maybe more like 15 years. This person that I'm talking about. And so nothing super traumatic or anything like that, but it's like this indelible mark that can be laid on the consciousness, the brain, and it just becomes this struggle, right? It's big to you. It may not be big to everybody else. Your life may look great to everybody else, but it's big to you. Anywho, we all got something, is what I'm trying to say. And so we have to continue to work on that. Um, then you've got to have the things that you're working on right now. You got to have a process for dealing with that, as well as how do you keep the vision of where you're headed. And I think the reason I went into, you got to be working on this stuff that is like anchoring you, limiting you, maybe we call them limiting beliefs, traumas, is because a lot of us have a tainted view. Like, we don't even believe it's possible to get to where we want to go. And then we're wrestling with that. Like, well, why don't I believe in it? Or do I even deserve to be worthy of it? I hope I'm making sense. Let me know if I'm making sense. I'm going to stop talking because I can't see y'all's faces to know. I don't know how this is landing, but it's very important. Okay, so just as it's necessary to set future goals, it's necessary that you embrace and experience the present and act in it consciously with awareness if you wish to progress. Remember, the universe can only use the present moment to send you clues, people, events, and opportunities to advance. It cannot use the imaginary future in your head. Instead of chasing a better future by throwing your consciousness into the future, bring it back to the present moment and let the future chase it there. Now, here. So let's look at these quotes. The wheels of time are mysterious. Time is a concept of the mind. Without the mind, there is no concept of time. Annihilate the mind. You will go beyond time. You will enter the realm of timelessness. You will live in the eternal. Shivananda. So the thing that I'm going to say about the mind is, and I hate saying, okay, I'm not going to use those words. I'm not putting those words out in the universe because I can't stand that curriculum. But what I will say is the book that I was reading on Secrets of the Yoga Sutra, I was actually a little bit shocked and surprised at, honestly, the Yoga Sutra is about being I'm going to say training the mind. That's not exactly the best way to describe it, but so much of it is about how our mind has so much stuff going on in it, and that's actually our biggest issue. And when you get the mind to be calm, then the mind is now open to hear from the higher consciousness. That's why I say I actually don't do well when I'm focused on what happened yesterday and all these things yesterday. Or when I'm like, okay, it's like this thing out in the past, and it's like all these scenarios that we're playing off in our minds. Like, I don't do well when I do that. I do my best when I'm like right here in the now moment. And it's just because the mind is calm and it can open up to hear what the universe see. The other problem is we think we supposed to manifest this stuff, but it's always a co-creation. And again, we were told you're supposed to do all these things to be successful, but the true path to success, they're not telling us all the details, right? This is why we're here together doing this work. And so part of it though is, your part is, okay, I feel this desire to create whatever, and this is why I want to create it, because it'll make me happy. I want to create it because it's going to help these people. I want to create it because it's my service to the world, and this is just how I want to be in service to humanity, or whatever. I want to help children, or whatever. It's just, this is just what I want to do. Doesn't have to be noble, nothing. It's just what you want, right? And so the universe is like, okay, she says she wants this, and this is why. So my turn. But what do we do? Let's imagine I'm holding on to some reins like on a horse. The reins on the horse actually belong to the universe. The omnipresence was like, I'm listening. What you want, queen? What you want, queen? And so then the universe is like, okay, I heard what she wants. Omniscience in effect. What do we need to do to make this happen for her? I just kind of imagine like it's a Mulan council around us. What do we need to do to make this happen? And then the omnipotence starts to put things in effect. And what do? We grab the reins back, and we're like, okay, so what do I need to do? That is not how we are to create, but it's hard. If we're not used to it, it does take a little bit of time to get more used to it or whatever. But we create constantly, to be honest with you. We create ever presently. Like every moment is a creation of your mind, and your ashe, your consciousness, in co-creation with the universe. It's just, we are so conditioned to believe, I get up, I live in this house, here's my desk. These are easy creations. But when it's called for us to create something that we haven't yet done, that's where it becomes very challenging for us. Okay? Yeah. And so for Radiant Rose, Johnny, I think I just kind of spoke to what you're talking about. And the thing is this, a lot of us have proof that we're the only ones that we can count on. We it's like I see a lot of proof of this in my life. And though it may be a fact that it has happened, the part of your process is you need to get to a place where you do not believe you are the only one you can count on. It is you and the universe. Maybe you don't need, maybe you like, I don't want to be counting on humans. I want to count on myself. And so, not on myself. I want to count on the universe. It's me and the universe. And if you don't have that kind of relationship with the universe, whatever that looks like for you, it could be God. I don't know, because not everybody who's here is into the goddess. Um, whatever that name is for you, then that's your work, is to get into deeper relationship with the almighty energy of the universe. Um you're cracking me up. We have to get out of our mind and get into our heart, our first brain. I love that so much. Get into our first heart. Into our hearts, which is our first brain. Okay, do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present. So that's Buddhism. Yeah, which is very, and sometimes Buddhism and the yogic sutras. I don't know about Hinduism. The yogic sutras was very much about the mind, and it's about getting yourself calm. And when you do that, then you're open to highlight this. No, Tyra, what was I doing? I thought I was. Oh, I don't know what I just did. That was weird. Anywho, I just want to make sure I remind myself of where I left off. Mm-mm. So I have to save things, because if I don't save it right away. I hope that this has been helpful to you all. I'm going to go on ahead and run. Yeah. So I hope that this has been helpful. And let me see here. Which one? Let's try this one right here. I know what I'll do. I'm going to leave out with an affirmation. That way I feel like I put a little bit of a seal on today's session. Okay. This one says, ooh. Okay, I pulled this the other day for somebody. This is interesting. It says, when I share the hard parts of my story, I make room to invite others in. What does that mean to you all? When I share the hard parts of my story, I make room to invite others in. Let me see what y'all are saying. I'm going to pull one more. Oh, you're welcome. Yay. Okay, good. Okay, so this is for my mindful messages. It says opportunities for growth. Everything is happening for me in my evolution. I am not a victim of the things that happen. I take ownership of my life and make the best of the challenges along my journey. I see how difficult moments help me to become the best version, and I am thankful for them. Thank you all. I'm so happy to hear that. Yay! Mystic Storm has new subscribers. Yes, thank you, Felicia. Also, Felicia has a channel too, y'all. She's been working on getting more subscribers, so y'all can follow Felicia. She has a lot of crafty, earthy, gardeny things there. I hope that y'all join me this Saturday. Yeah, join me this Saturday for the full moon ritual. And let's see here, anything else I want to share with you all? Join my channel if you want some extra wisdom sharing and insights on. Right now, it's Mars retrograde is what I uploaded yesterday. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week. See you Saturday.